Sometimes police rely on direct observation to determine that a suspect is committing a crime. Other times, they rely on indirect sources, such as information supplied by an informant. Draper v. United States considers whether police can rely on an informant's tip to establish probable cause. In September of 1953, an informant notified a federal agent that a man was peddling narcotics to addicts in Denver. The informant shared the man's name, James Draper, and his address. The federal agent worked previously with the informant and had always found his tips accurate. 4 days later, the informant returned to the federal agent with more information. The informant explained that Draper traveled to Chicago to obtain narcotics and would be returning by train on the morning of September 8th or 9th. The informant gave a physical description of Draper. He noted that Draper had a light brown complexion, was 27 years old, and stood 5 feet 8 inches tall. He detailed Draper's attire, explaining that he'd be wearing a raincoat, brown slacks, and black shoes. The informant also noted that Draper would be carrying a tan-colored bag and tended to walk fast. On the morning of September 8th, the federal agent and Denver police headed to the train station. No one aboard the trains arriving from Chicago fit the informant's description. On September 9th, officers returned to conduct surveillance. They spotted a man exiting a train inbound from Chicago. The man fit the informant's physical description and wore the clothing the informant described. He carried a tan-colored bag and walked fast. Police arrested the man, who was indeed James Draper. Following the arrest, police searched Draper and found heroin and a syringe. Draper was charged with knowingly concealing and transporting narcotics. He claimed that the heroin and syringe were obtained through an unlawful search and seizure and moved to suppress the evidence. The district court reasoned that the evidence was obtained constitutionally and denied the motion to suppress. Draper was later convicted. The 10th Circuit affirmed the conviction. The Supreme Court granted Draper's petition for cert.